Cheers, queers. What's on the big gay agenda today, Theora?
Today we are continuing our scene-by-scene breakdown of Pluto the Series, and today we'll be starting episode 9.
Woo! Oh, this is a great episode.
Yes, this is the episode probably people have been waiting for. It's the Sexy Times episode. But before we get into all of that, let's do our corrections and clownery segment, which we don't have many, but we have some. So first we'll start with Pamela1595 from YouTube, who says, from our last episode, going back and looking at the scene of jealous to May and client made me think of the first sign of mental illness. Ooh. As you said, the aura had repeatedly questioned others' intentions towards May. Then that realization that I was May's love, that May defended Batman, the car accident, her coma, Paul's dead, PTSD. She went through a lot, okay? Exacerbated and accelerated her illness in the end to make that terrible kind of situation. Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a really good read, that like the signs of mental like unwellness was kind of always there, and then she went through trauma after trauma after trauma, and it just made it worse. Poor That's the thing. Is interesting. The way they wrote in the show is really interesting.
She really did go through a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I
know. Poor Justice for
All right. So,
and our last one.
Our next one, our last one is from Patreon from White Cat 112. I love whenever I see your name pop up, by the way, because I know your comment's gonna be great. According to Ty Gerlove, you have to have met your soulmate when you are young.
Yes.
And then discover them years later.
Every single time.
And then if you're watching this, they had this face.
Confused, whatever, like
silly
face.
Tongue sticking out face.
If you're just listening.
And this is continued. On a super random note, I'm still stuck on Theora's offhanded comment that all the Ty Gerlove dads are together.
Is it offhanded? We talk about that a lot. Are we wrong? Just watch closely. All these dads are together. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. It's all there. It's a coincidence that the writers all wrote the dads like that. I don't know. All right. So something to think about. If you have dad fan fiction, let us know. I do.
You have dad fan fiction.
All right. And with that, let's get into episode 9. So episode 9 starts with a flashback of child May in her parents' house reading in a very fancy living room. And if you look at the living room, it does not look like a child-friendly place. Like, if you just look at the decor, it's got like big ass curtains. It's a huge cavernous room. There's like some photos, but not really. There's like model warships in glass cases. Like, it screams we have money and we're at least 40 years old. Like, does this look like a room for a child is what I'm saying.
No.
The child sitting in it. Right, exactly. So already, like, it visually May looks out of place in her own house, which that's just setting the stage for like this whole thing, which was sad if you really think about it. Okay, so May is on the couch reading this novel, and the story is about a prince and a princess. So like, we know from the beginning of the show that May loves novels and reading, and that's her form of escapism, and like, makes sense. Look at the environment she's trapped in, and so she's escaping into this novel. And I don't think it's a coincidence that the story is about a prince and a princess. Yes, that's common in like fairy tale tropes, but like, this prince and princess thing comes up a lot in Pluto. So first of all, when she starts reading it, it's the first thing she reads is the prince promises to protect the princess physically and emotionally. And to me, it is going to highlight this horrible scene we're about to get into, but also like it's very much foreshadowing who I becomes for May. May is the princess trapped in the tower, and I is the Prince Charming that comes and saves her from all this stuff. And again, I have to note the prince and princess thing. So again, in the show, you have an OST that's called A Princess's Tale. So there's that, number one. And then when I goes to publish her novels that are based on her relationship with May, they are about a prince and a princess. So like, this thing keeps coming up again over and over again. So I don't think that was a coincidence on the writer's part. Because I must say, all the stuff we're about to watch with May's backstory, May's family stuff, is purely for the show. This does not come from the novel. So, like, GMMTV wrote all of this.
GMMTV is good.
Yeah. So, like, I think the prince and princess theme is on purpose. Okay. All right. So then May's reading this, and then mom enters the chat. And she comes in and praises May for finishing another story and offers to buy her another one later. And if you watch mom, she looks like genuinely proud of May for being a diligent little bookworm. And she's like smiling and patting May's head, which again, that's like very intimate, genuine affection, what mom is doing. And I thought this was really interesting because we knew for a while that May loves reading, but it seems like her mom is the one that is fostering that by encouraging her to read, offering to get her more books when she finishes them so that she will keep reading. So it looks like mom does support May's escapism with her novels.
Yeah, she's super supportive here, and it's just great to see May actually supported for once. And like you see that her mom is not as rigid in this scene as well when she's just with May.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, But like once we get further into the episode, you can see how that shifts.
Well, there's a reason, and
Yes, there is a huge reason.
the reason's about to come into the scene. So, okay, so May and her mom are on the couch, and May asks her mom about something she just read in the novel, and she asks, "How can someone be hurt emotionally?"
Mhm.
Oh, sweet baby child. And then the world's worst dad enters the room as May is asking this question. And both mother and daughter look at him because here's your answer, Specs. It just showed up.
Specs. Sorry, that caught me off guard. Yeah, like the mom's look at the father, like just looks like she's thinking that this is the perfect example for her to learn about how someone can be hurt emotionally. And because like the mom looks literally terrified
Uh huh.
during this part.
It's almost like she's been through this before and this is not new to her, which is going to be important for my biggest critique of the show.
Yes, that is the biggest critique of
We're
the
making the
entire show.
case now, making the case now that dad's been like this for a while. Okay. So then dad enters the scene. And then what does he do? Does he encourage his daughter? No. Dad rips the book away from May and starts yelling at her for reading fantasy stories so much that her grades are slipping. And then he also like starts scolding the mother for encouraging this behavior, this reading, like the thing that mom like clearly was proud of her daughter for doing. What a dick. He comes in and ruins mother-daughter time. And then poor little May tries to get the book back because she's like, I didn't finish reading it. Like, I want to keep reading it. And she gets up to go after him as he's walking away with this book, but mom holds her back while dad storms out of the room with it, which is so heartbreaking. And then mom has to sit her down and be like, dearest child, that is what emotionally hurting other people looks like. And if you look at mom, like to your point, mom looks very affected by this whole thing. She's misty-eyed, she got tears hovering. And I get the impression that mom has been emotionally abused by this man for a while and was probably shielding May from that truth the best she could. And this is probably May's first memory of like when that truth came to light. She's like, oh, my dad is awful, basically. And like, what a fucking shitty lesson to teach your daughter. Like to be in a position to be like, well, dear, you want to know what emotional abuse is? It's what your father just did.
But I love that the like she does use this as a moment to tell her daughter that this is an example of hurting someone emotionally because like the mom could have closed up and not acknowledged her daughter's question at all because she's like, "Oh, I don't want to talk about this. Like you don't need to be exposed to this." But this is a way to help her develop emotional intelligence. She needs to be able to recognize what people are doing to someone to have it not be a pattern. I mean, they take it from this man, but she shouldn't have to be out there like being emotionally abused by other people. So if she can recognize that, at least she can eliminate the other elements. And her mom here is also not pretending like the father's a good guy.
I mean, she never pretends like he's a good guy, but she does defer to his authority all the time
Because she's scared.
because that's the social structure and she's scared. Yeah. But again, like, what a shitty lesson to have to learn about your own dad. Like, yeah, I agree with you. The lesson is an important lesson to learn, but like, the example was her father.
I know.
That's really shitty.
That's because that's what he is, though.
Yeah, he is really shitty. Exactly. And personally, I hope May got to get the book back at some point and finish reading it because that sucks.
I I could see her, like, as an adult buying it when she was finally free and being like, "I need to finish this book now."
I hope she did it sooner than that. She like got out of the library and like finished it
Oh,
or
yeah.
something.
No, she's a smart kid.
That's what
Yeah,
I
she
mean.
probably did
She's smart.
that.
I hope she figures that out.
Um, something else I wanted to talk about is that when her mother pulls her back, like, she knows that won't end well, like, with whatever May is about to do, like, with trying to get the book back, and, like, May would just be causing more problems, and, like, this is really how May learned to not stick up for herself and just take it when someone is bullying her. This is why she doesn't fight back when the bullies are later at the planetarium. And, like, in her life, even Tan did what was asked of him. So, I was the first person to even show her how to stand up to someone and advocate for herself. That's why, like, she has no tools until she comes into play.
Yeah, I mean, but if you look at it, May's first instinct was to go after her dad. Like her instinct was to fight back, but then, like you said, mom conditioned her not to
Yeah.
engage in that because she's like, "You're not going to win this." Just, but like, we'll see why actually that was a good lesson here because like May is tiny and her strong suit is not physical altercations the way I can get away with that. Like May's strength lies somewhere else, and it wasn't going to work right now.
I also wanted to talk really quickly about the shot when the father's exiting the room, and as he's walking towards the camera's pulling out, and it makes it so that May and her mom are in the background, and they're getting smaller and smaller, just showing how, like, insignificant they are to him and in this moment, and I love the way that they did that shot.
Yeah, no, because they're dwarfed by his everything, his ego mostly. But yeah, that's a good catch. All right, anything else about this scene?
Nope, I believe that's it.
Sweet. Okay, so then after that, we flash forward 10 years to 2014, and we have May in her high school uniform entering the living room, like the same room, basically. And she overhears a conversation between Ton and May's father, with May's mother present but silent on the couch. And May's father is telling Ton that he needs to do things his way or he's not going to finance Ton's schooling anymore. So we find out that the reason Ton was able to go to med school is because May's dad paid for it. Yikes. And so May enters the chat and clarifies like really what this is all about. So apparently May's dad does not approve of Ton's girlfriend, who we all know is Ploy. Okay. So May's dad went to Ploy, apparently, and told her to break up with Ton, which she did not, because May's like, well, my friend didn't do like you asked her to do. And they're still together. So now he's forcing Ton to be the one to break up with Ploy. And I just want to talk about everybody's body language in this scene. So when May enters the chat and starts about to go off, she's kind of like closed off with her arms. And then if you go to Ton's head's hung low, like he looks really defeated. And then mom and dad looks super aggressive. But if you look at mom has her hands in her lap and her like hands are in little fists and they're like clenched together. So to me, it almost looks like she's like uncomfortable in this scenario and like holding back in a way. But if you notice when so that's the vibe being around this dad. And then when May starts confronting him, she drops the defensive stance. Again, like May's instinct is to fight. Like that is her instinct. She's going to do it again in this scene. And I like that she, again, it enhances the relationship between Ton and May because in this scene, because up till this point we've really seen like future Ton and May where Ton's mostly just doing whatever the hell May tells him to do, and it like kind of comes back here where she is going to defy her father to defend him. So like proving that they've been ride or dies like for a very long time, Ton and May. All right. So then May and her father get into it, and she's like, it's his life, leave him alone. And then he's like, listen, bitch, like, you need to fucking focus on your own shit and not meddle in your cousin's life. And then that's when May is like, I don't get it. Like, she's like, whatever I do, it's never enough for you, dad. It's like he sets these impossible standards for May and then emotionally hurts her when she inevitably fails to meet the impossible standard. Like, that's been May's life for like probably 10 years because in that 10-year gap, because now we're 10 years ahead. And when May is delivering all these lines, when she's like kind of speaking her truth to her father, like, the emotions you hear in her voice are so heartbreaking. You can just feel her pain. Like, this is what she's been living with for a long time, and here she is, like, speaking it, and, like, you just hear how much this hurts her. This, like, emotional abuse is not something to be, like, to just brush off. Like, you can hear how actual hurt she is by this emotional pain she's been enduring from her father.
And you see the exhaustion on her face from having to deal with it.
Yeah.
And going back to, like, the father telling Ton to break up with Ploy after trying to get Ploy to break up with him first, it just shows that the father will literally do anything and try
Anything.
multiple paths to get what he wants. Like,
Mhm.
he's not gonna just stop
Nope.
because he fails once.
Well, he doesn't fail. He's
Yes.
like, you're
He's
going to
like
bend to my will.
yeah, he's like, "I will get you. Your
You're
little dog too."
I'm right. You are wrong. Yeah, basically. All right. So then in this conversation, May keeps going, and May also lets it drop that basically her father is a monster to all of her friends, which is probably why she doesn't have any, to be honest. It's like she has Ploy and Ton, who's related to her. So this is more emotional manipulation coming from the father, that he just like scares off all of her friends or potential friends. So, in all honesty, this right here to me says a lot about Ploy, because Ploy stuck around the whole time, and like, she was Ton's girlfriend, and then he terrorized her, and she was like, I'm not giving him up because I love him. So like, she stuck around, and then after all of this goes down, she still stays really good friends with May, and he probably terrorized her for being May's friend.
Honestly, that's a great point. Ploy
Says
is
a lot about
very
Ploy.
strong to be able to put up with all of that just to keep the relationship. Like, she was really committed.
Yeah, no, like Ton and May in particular must mean a lot to Ploy, for Ploy to have go be like a ride or die like that for both of them, not just May. Yeah,
Yeah.
says a lot about Ploy, because he tried to fuck with Ploy. Ploy was like, "Yeah, bitch, no."
Something else I want to point out in the scene is that May's shirt is untucked, and I don't believe we've seen her like that before. I just feel like the father would never allow her to be like not fully in uniform. Like, it's not proper.
Yeah,
So
it is interesting.
it's like kind of like a first sign of rebellion, thanks to I.
That's true. All right, so after yelling at him about the friends, Dad gets up, then stalks over to May and says, "You think you're so tough? Get out of my house." And then slaps her hard across the face. And May rightfully starts bawling. And then once the domestic violence starts, everybody else in the room finally wakes up, because well, like Ton. Okay, so everybody gets up. Ton stands but doesn't move, like he freezes. Mom runs and grabs the dad's arm, like again she's trying to hold him back, and starts pleading, "Don't hurt our daughter."
I kind of wish she would say my daughter because he was never a parent to May, and they both deserve better.
Well, I think she's trying to get through to him and be like, "She is your daughter.
That's
What the
true.
fuck are you doing?" That's what she's trying to do. Because he's acting like May's a thing and not his daughter right now.
He could feel himself losing control though, and like he's the person who will do anything to keep it, like we just talked about, and including like destroying the person to show quote them how good he is to them. And like, this was his last tactic he could think of, was to be physical with her because like words weren't working. She was fighting back. So now physical altercation, just slap her. Again, it's just a terrible, that's not a parent.
Parents do this.
No,
Some
I know.
parents do this. But here's the thing, when mom's like comes over and says, "Don't hurt our daughter." And it's like, lady, he's been emotionally hurting her for at least a decade. Like that's pain too. Like he's been hurting her for a long time. This did not come out of nowhere. And like mom's been letting that go.
That's a great point because people always like worry about physical abuse, but no one appreciates and understands how much emotional abuse is just as bad
Correct.
because we do
Yes.
not take the time to support mental health and like really understand the impact that it has because it's literally just as important as physical health.
Correct. But like notice we don't freak out until the physical assaulting happens. Then suddenly he's gone too far. It's like he's been abusing her and hurting her for at least a decade. And mom probably way longer than that. Okay, and then mom tries to hold him back, and while May's kind of bawling her eyes out, and he's yelling at her for talking back to her. And the sick part is, if you watch this, like he does not take his eyes off of May after he hits her. It's like his body language is in this perpetual fighting stance, like he's itching for her to fight back so he can do it again because he knows as the adult male, because she's still a child, as the adult male, his one advantage over her in this situation is he is taller, bigger, stronger. So like she can't beat him in a physical fight. So he's like, "Yeah, bitch, try it again. I will slap you even harder." Which is he's her father. Like this is so gross. All of this.
Yeah, he's kind of like the final boss. Like he's the untouchable thing.
He thinks he's untouchable.
Yes.
That's the thing.
But for right now, he is for her where she is in life. And I think that's like why to this day she's trying to plan her strategy on how to take him down because he is that like big presence towering over her life.
Excuse me. Yeah. So of course he, like I said, he yells at her to never talk back to him again, which translates to do not point out when I'm wrong, especially in front of other people, because that's what she was doing, and that's really what this is about. She made him look bad, and he was mad. And I just get major narcissist vibes from her dad.
I think that tracks.
Yeah. And so then he does domestic violence to his wife by shoving her to the ground. And brave and distraught little May tries to go to her mom to like help her. But dad physically stops her by twisting her wrist, which is painful to her. But like again, you keep seeing in these scenes that even though she got slapped, even though he's yelling at her, May still has a lot of fight in her, and her instinct without thinking is to intervene and to fight. So she is a lot like if you look at these scenes, really. But she's disadvantaged in this particular altercation because it's family, first of all. And then, like, he's bigger than her. He has all the money. Like, she's at every disadvantage. But, like, you see her still keep going, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, so dad's like yelling, "I'm not done talking to you," indicating that this bitch was about to take more of his big emotions. He's a man child in this. He's having big emotions and he's taking them out on his daughter instead of like processing them or being emotionally intelligent. He's just having a big old mantrum and hurting everybody around him. So, because he's hurt on the inside. Okay. So he was going to keep going with May. And then finally, brave little Ton enters the chat, which kind of stops this. And he then concedes to give this monster anything he wants just to make this horror show stop. So Ton promises to give up Ploy and focus on school only, which is what May's dad was demanding when this whole thing started.
Which reinforces the dad's behavior and gives him motivation to keep going.
Well, yeah, that's how this always goes down. He
Yeah.
gets what he wants at the end. That's why he's like throwing such a fit when May doesn't give him what he wants, because he's used to getting what he wants at everyone else's expense, which is super fucked. And poor May. May is so heartbroken that Ton gave up everything. Like he's giving up what he wants, like just like that, just in a blink of an eye. Ton's like, okay, whatever, this is over.
It's like she got slapped for nothing now.
Right, exactly. And then, oh, and you would think that was the worst part, but it's not, because then May's mother demands that May apologize to her father. Oh, and poor May looks at her mother and
Oh.
just staring at her mother like, "What did you just tell me to do?" And like she's looking for support to be like, "Say it ain't true, mama." And then she looks to Ton, who then can't even meet her eye line. And poor May, I think she must feel so alone and betrayed in this moment because she came in here defending everybody and then they just like leave her to the wolves.
I mean, it's so powerful, like, when she looks around at them and just sees how influenced they are by him.
Well, they're all scared of him. It's not influence; they're afraid, and so they're like, "We're not gonna." So this is whole scene is about fight being like passive versus like fighting back, and like the only person really fighting in this scene is May. Everybody else is just like, "No, let's not fight. Let's. I'm too scared." But May is the only one who's not scared, and then this is her getting backed into the corner, and the people who should be supporting her are like turning on her.
Mhm.
That's what's happening. And she's still a child. So to your point, May's gonna internalize a lot of this shit.
I mean, I know like, they're scared, but if you just look at her mom's eyes, you can just see her pleading with her to follow along. Because I mean, because she's scared, but it's just her mom, the actress, does a very great job with her eyes.
Yeah, she's really, really good. And the thing about May's mom is like May's mom isn't stupid. Okay. She's not saying apologize because he's right. She knows he's wrong. Okay. In every single way. Mom has simply seen this film for decades against her will and does not like the ending. Okay. That's what this is. This is not new to mom. She knows this man child can't process his anger and won't calm down until he gets his way. Because notice once he starts getting his way, he's calm. So, because May hurt his honor as man of the house, mom is telling May to concede for her own safety so that the monster will leave her alone. That's what this really is. That's why her eyes are pleading, like you said. Because in reality, in this moment, there is no prince coming to save May from her father. May can either, she has two options. She can either defeat the monster on her own, which is what she was trying to do and failed hard. Or option number two is May can placate the monster by giving it what it wants, which is what her mother is telling her to do. She's like, there's two ways, there's the fork in the road. You can either give him what he wants and he'll stop and we'll all be good, or you can take him down. And May is not in a position to take him down right now. She tries and he keeps and is failing. And no one, and she needs people to help her and they're not going to help her. So like she's forced down the other path, basically. So then May looks back at her father and stares him down for a few seconds before ultimately conceding, just like everyone else. And she does the ultimate humiliating and humbling apology when she gets down to her knees on the floor. And I do get the feeling that something inside May breaks when she's forced to do this because she starts crying so hard with this apology. And it's so heartbreaking that like Ton can't even watch. It will get to a point where Ton just like turns away and can't even like look at May because she's doing this for him. So like the guilt. And then when she's apologizing, dad looks at her at one point, and this bitch has the audacity to look misty eyed because this motherfucker knows he's fucking wrong. And he's too much of a little bitch to admit it. And instead, his daughter is doing this just to shut him up.
It's painful to watch May give in here. Like,
It is. It is. And the fucking people that decided to put sad string music in the background makes this 100 times worse.
which makes the production team great.
Yes. But yeah, no. Again, another stellar performance from film. She's out here breaking hearts all the time with her emotions. She's so good.
I mean, like, each word you can see is painful for her to say because these words are reinforcing her father's power. even more over her.
Yeah. No, it's just like because you could tell she still had the fight in her, and I think it breaks something in her that like nobody was willing to fight with her.
Mhm.
She's on her own. Like ultimately, how can she fight? And like to your point, like we'll see in the next scene, like this incident happened after she met and I tells her, "Oh, find a way to fight." And here's May trying to stand up for herself, probably for the first time in a really long time after getting those words of wisdom, and she fails. Like that's rough. Because if I was here, I would have fought with her.
Well, like I said, like this was a terrible way to start standing up for herself because this is the final boss. You don't start with the final boss.
No.
You start with
That's
your
true.
bullies first.
You start with
Your school
the
bullies.
school bullies.
People who are close to your size and power.
Right. She just took on a god
Yeah, like
as her first fight, which again says a lot about May.
that is true. I mean, there's a reason she became a lawyer. She's damn good with the instincts.
We'll get that. Yeah, we'll get to why she goes to the law because she can't physically fight people. She could use her mind. Okay, so then after this horrible scene, we cut away to later that day where May is alone in her room now, sitting at her desk and crying because that was a lot. And if you look at this room has a lot more personality in it compared to the parlor where they just was and where she was reading 10 years ago in that flashback. It's not much, but there's more personality. Like there's a stuffed Dalmatian on the shelf sitting next to a bunch of trophies that she probably won. If you look behind her, there's a stuffed bird toy. Her desk has some toys on it, but that's kind of it. The rest of the room reflects the rest of the house, where it's way too big of a room. Like she's tiny in this giant room. The room decorum is gaudy and just is like, we have money, just like the living room was, and so large that it like swallows May. And there's some tokens of her personality, but it's very sparse throughout the room. Like it's not like her personality is not dominating this room. It's the decorum from the rest of the house is dominating this room. So to me, the read of this is that May's room doesn't read like it's her personal space. It reads like this is her father's space, and he's so graciously letting her occupy it.
That's a great point. Her desk is also surrounded by books and papers. Like she is clearly has not been slacking off with schoolwork, but like she
No,
said
hence
earlier,
those trophies. Those have to be academic trophies because she just got into a science competition.
but nothing's enough for her father, like she said.
No, impossible
And
standards.
there's also I saw Crayola sidewalk chalk on her desk as well, which I thought was just very random. And I was thinking about like why she has these things around her. I feel like these are like the very few objects that she was able to have that are like childhood things.
Correct.
And I feel like she has them around her desk. One, probably because that's her only place that she can put it, but it's not in her room. So I'm thinking that like she's trying to keep the things that make her happy and like remind her that she's a child and her childhood close to her when she's having to like study countless hours trying to be enough for her father.
Or she uses the chalk when she's studying. Like some people like the color code shit. Like who knows? Maybe she has a chalkboard and she does math. But yeah, no. It's just yeah, it's just like this is her personal space. This is May's room or one of her rooms. So there's that. So then okay, so May's at the desk crying and then mom enters the chat to come see her. And when her mom comes in, May asks something that I think she's wanted to ask during the fight, but then couldn't. And she asks her mother, "Have you ever thought of fighting back?" And go ahead.
Well, first I wanted to say that when her mom comes in and just says May, it kind of looks like she's silently checking in on May and like trying to make sure she's okay.
Oh yeah, that's why she came in the room.
Um, but when May asked her this question, this time instead of like the previous scene when she was little of like not avoiding the question, being like, "Oh, this is your father, like that's what he did to you, emotional abuse." Um, Here she is avoiding the question, and
she does not answer.
yeah, and she just asked her why she was meddling in Tan's issues to begin with. So I think it just shows like how much progress he has made on making her even smaller to the point where she's scared to even talk freely with May.
Well, I think that the fact that he crossed the line into physical abuse with with May is what's terrifying mom right now. And so yeah, mom, to your point, isn't kind of has an element of denial going on here. She evades the why. Have you ever thought of fighting back question? Because May's not stupid, and I think May has seen this film also with her dad's emotional abuse and notices that her mom doesn't stand up to him ever. And so she asked mom, why don't you ever fight back? Have you ever thought about it? And mom again doesn't answer and instead tries to gaslight May by being like, why were you meddling in other people's affairs? Like when really May was standing up to her father, and mom does not touch that part. She's just like, it's Ton's business, leave him alone, which to me reinforces mom's body language in that conversation, where it looks like mom is really uncomfortable with the situation where the dad is trying to manipulate Ton, and mom is just sitting there quietly letting it happen. But her body language to me reads like she would like to, but no, she can't, and is just like trapped in this moment that is uncomfortable. Because I think this line to May too is also, it's a sense of, it's her projecting that like mom has probably had these thoughts too, where she's like, oh well, he's dad's in the wrong, I should stand up to him, but then like convinces herself, well, this isn't my problem, it's Ton's problem, and if I interfere then he's going to take it out on me, and it's just easier if we all just like it's the way she's had to rationalize this bullshit so that she stays safe, Ton stays safe in her brain, and dad gets what he wants. It's like that's how she used to rationalize her husband's horrible behavior, basically.
Yeah, which I understand why she's doing it. I just hate that she is.
Correct. Correct. And so does her daughter. And May just is incredibly heartbroken because she felt like her mother wasn't fighting with her when really nobody was fighting with her. Okay. She was all alone there being brave. I mean, Ton in his own way, like, made it stop, but like, still, it was letting the monster win, basically, the way the mom lets the monster win.
I love this shot though, where the low angle looking up at her and it makes May seem bigger, even though she's crying and seems like she wouldn't have power because she's upset. And like in life, tears usually are associated with weakness, unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
most times when it's sad. Um, but this low angle shows that she's resigning herself to the fact that she will keep fighting for herself and going to take her power back. So I love that they decided to do that.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. But back to the like fighting alone thing and the reason this is so upsetting to May, because again, this incident happened after I met May and told her to fight in her own way. And today is such a big memory for May because probably was the first time her father slapped her. And then secondly, this is a big lesson to May that this method of quote fighting doesn't work for her. Right? Because remember, I was like, you need to find your own way to fight, basically. So, like, this version didn't work. Okay. So then May is going to have to figure out what method does work for her because clearly she wants to fight back. It's just like this was not the way, basically. But she's not going to figure that out in this conversation. That's, I think, internally what she's dealing with. But for now, she tells her mother, basically, I'm going to keep, like, mom, I'm not going to play your game. I'm going to keep fighting and take control of my own life. And that's when May's mother starts to cry
She looks terrified.
and then walks away. Because to me, that scene with that moment with May's mother, when May is saying that, and then May's mother starts to cry, to me, it's like her mom is looking into the past by looking at her daughter. Because it's almost like May was her, like she was May once, right? Like I assume when May's mother was recently married to this man, it's all a honeymoon period. When the honeymoon went away and she realized who she married and who this guy really was, she was at this same crossroad where only like she's legally bound to this man. And so is May, technically, because like, she's her father. He's her father. And so mom had to choose the path of fight back, defend myself, or just be passive and let him get his way so that he doesn't take his feelings out on me. And we know the route that mom chose, but here's her daughter actively choosing the other route. The more in her mother's mind, what May is doing by choosing the fighting path, that's the more risky and dangerous route. Because look at how he reacted when she was fighting back. He hit her. And so like I think part of May's mother is like is upset because like she didn't have that courage or bravery that her daughter has. And also like again she's also worried for May's safety because this man knows no bounds. But it's like it's one of those situations where she's mourning her own choices and then she's also like fearful for her daughter's safety basically.
Yeah, and when the mom walks away without responding to May's statement that she's going to keep fighting, that's May's final confirmation that she is alone. Like she knew it, but like this was like the final straw, kind of.
Kind of like I don't know. To me, like when mom walks away, like May doesn't seem to break anymore. I think she already had that confirmation that she was in that battle alone. And this just like was more proof of that. I think the scene in with the dad when like she realized how alone she was, that was the breaking point. And this
That's
was just
true.
like I already accepted this now about you, but like why? She just wants to know why. Why didn't you fight with me? And didn't get the answer. So then after mom leaves, May looks on her desk and spots the Pluto mug, which is the one she bought to remind her of I. And then she takes the Pluto mug and then asks her Pluto, aka to send her courage to fight because she's not done fighting. And then May very lovingly caresses the mug and thinks of the girl that changed her life and then smiles. So it's nice that she has something in her life. Like she doesn't feel as alone because she had that moment with I. So again, like I will never fully understand the depths of what she did with May because like it changed her lives in ways like I could never have known. Like here's May who was just like I'm all alone and then she thinks about I and is like I'm not alone. This person believed in me. Like this person this was my Prince Charming who like would have stepped in and intervened like if she was here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then shout out to the mug. Woo.
Love the mug.
Okay, so then after that we flash forward back to the present and we have Ton dropping off May at a hotel cuz they're in Karat right now. And they're outside, and he's unpacking her bags and going over the itinerary. And meanwhile, May is marveling at the fact that she can see the hotel key card, and her vision is getting much, much better. Like she can almost make out the letters, like it's getting way better. And when Tan then comments on her sight recovery, May responds that her vision is recovering so quickly that she's actually kind of scared at how fast this is happening. And Tan assures her that there's nothing to be scared of and that he's going to be her ride or die for real this time. It's all going to be good. Meaning that like Tan, based on the flashback, and the regret comes from again the flashback we just got, where like May intervened on his behalf, and it went very and May got all the ire of her father. So I think Tan is saying that and we saw him in the scene where he was not happy about the way that was going, and so for him, he's been regretting his own inaction that day from that flashback and is very determined to make it up to her by fighting alongside her from now on, which again puts into context like all the behavior we've seen from Tan where he's like literally willing to do whatever she asks him to do even when it's ridiculous. Like he's like, okay, whatever, May, I'll do it for you, because like she did this huge thing and put herself in danger for him when they were kids, right?
Yeah.
And then in this scene right here, like it shows you just how well he knows her, because why is she afraid that her vision's recovering quickly? Because if it recovers quickly, she has to confront the truth and tell I about it, because that's thing she's holding herself to. So I think she's scared about that. And Ton knows her fears are really rooted in that uncertainty when it comes to I processing the whole truth of these shenanigans. And so he reassures her that she's capable of doing the impossible. Like, don't doubt yourself, May. First of all, you have me as your ride or die, but also, like, you did in fact go and find your Pluto, this person that you've been searching for such a long time. You went and found her. Like, there she is. That's her. We all know that this is her now. And I just think it's really amazing how well he knows May, because she wasn't offering any of that information really. He read into her emotions and he knew how to comfort her when she was feeling unsettled. And I love that about that relationship.
Yeah, and just Ton is just so supportive of May, and it's so great to see. I love seeing their relationship, honestly,
Yes.
because they really do need each other.
Mhm.
And like in this scene, they both look so happy. And I don't think we've seen the two of them with
Yeah, that's
this
true.
least amount of weight on their shoulders.
It's always when they're conspiring together that they're happy. They're happiest when they're conspiring. Says a lot about them. Okay. But speaking of Pluto, I text May. Pluto enters the chat for real and tells May she's going to pick her up tomorrow and then says, "Good night, my first love." And if that doesn't make your heart melt, I don't know what will, because it definitely melts May's heart, because she then hugs the phone and tells Ton, "Damn right, I found my Pluto. It took that dumbass long enough to realize she was my Pluto, but what is time really in the grand scheme of things?"
Yeah, if I text and it melt your heart, seeing how happy May was because of this text
Yeah,
definitely
imagine
is. Because
I on the other end.
yeah, May is an adorable idiot in love.
I mean, she's finally getting everything she wants. And then the fact that I fixates on the first love thing so much is kind of weird, but like it's cute, because it's cute for I to admit that, because she's being sincere that like May is my first love, because she is
Mhm.
like May fell first many years ago, but then so did I later, and it's just this mutual first love thing, which is really cute and a fun part of the Pluto story, to be honest. Okay, yeah. So those two are being cute, and that settles the evening. And then we transition back to a place we haven't been in a while, and neither has I. So I is visiting in the hospital and doing some physical therapy with her. And I apologizes for cosplaying in the OG time, which led to this awkward love triangle they find themselves in. But I love in the scene that I thanks for giving her the chance to meet May. And it's really cute how happy I is that she even got the opportunity. Because like May thought she was and then was with and then was like, "Yeah, go break up with her." And then she's like, "Hey, if you hadn't asked me to do that, I would have never met May." And it's like, "Oh, sweet eye." That is literally what was doing when she asked you to go break up with May. She wanted May to see you for the first time in forever and for you to meet her. Like that was literally the point, which is really it's funny how sometimes I is really perceptive, but like again doesn't have the full picture of like she's like that was really coincidental that happened. And it's like, girl, no, that's what was literally literally doing. She sent you there.
If only could hear I telling her all this right now, like all the apology and thanking her,
Yeah.
because maybe she would have remembered it later.
Ooh, no, no. This that May well, loses her memory, so this would have been really bad if she heard this.
Yeah, I guess
This would
so.
have been really bad if heard this, and she was like,
I
"What
guess
do
I
you
was
mean you're in
hoping.
love with my girlfriend?" Like
I guess
that's not how memories work.
I was hoping that like if she kept hearing it, like she wouldn't have lost her memory. But
That's not how that works. It would have just confused the shit out of because didn't even know she married Paul when she gets out of the coma.
that's right.
Right? No, this would have been bad. But okay, so I do appreciate this little scene with I and because we don't get many of them together, especially like in the present. And it's so easy to forget just how much these two love each other. And so I'm glad we got this like private moment where I is taking care of and apologizing to and I just like that. And also to me, the fact that I seemed willing to talk to about May here, even though is on like in the coma still and unconscious. The fact that I was willing to even say this out loud to me indicates that I right now is working up the courage to confront about this for real when gets out of the coma. Like that's I think part of why she's here. I needs exposure therapy sometimes because again, most of the show we've seen her waffling about whether or not she's gonna like tell the truth to or just like step away and let have her, even though was like break up with her. But it seems like I has some resolve here to be like, I'm sorry about the way this went down, but like, it happened. We're here. I'm glad I met May. Like, thank you, and I'm sorry. And like, I feel like I was gonna say all this to for real when was like conscious, and that's why she was kind of practicing. Maybe
That would make sense.
yeah.
And you just see on I's face, like, she's truly appreciative for bringing May into her life. Like,
Yeah, I loves her sister.
This whole situation is really weird. But moving on.
Yeah. So then I wraps up her visit when Kasul calls her to tell her her ride's ready. It's got gas in the tank. Come get it. So that's what I does. She's like, I got big plans and I'm gonna go get my car. So then she leaves and then after she leaves, hand starts twitching.
Dun dun dun.
That's literally what I have in my notes. Dun dun dun.
I do too.
So yeah, so then when you're watching this first time, you're like, did she hear that? Did she hear that?
She's like, must wake up,
Must
get
wake
my
up
girlfriend
now.
back.
My girlfriend back I asked you to break up with. All right. Well, speaking of weird love triangles, okay, then we cut over to the disaster gaze, which are Pang and Jan. And Pang shows up at Jan's place with a pot of carnations. Not a bouquet, a pot. So something she can plant. And she's like, well, this is a symbol of new beginnings. Okay. And like, honestly, this right here is plant girl flirting 101 because the new beginning Pang is talking about is date me. This is Pang being like, date me. No, Pang, you guys are the worst. Okay. Pang also adds that this is an apology. It's like new beginnings. Like, look at me. But also, I'm sorry. And it's really cute that like Pang felt guilty about making shit weird the last time she accidentally like twat blocked Jan and Officer Hottie.
But I mean, like, she didn't mean to.
No, she was there to deliver plants because she was getting paid to do it.
Yeah.
But
she did not have to apologize.
But she felt bad because she made shit awkward. She clearly hurt Officer Hottie's feelings. And so this is a lot about Pang, okay? And then I like that Pang's apologizing, and Jan thinks Pang is apologizing because Officer Hottie officially friend zoned her because it was very obvious that Officer Hottie has unresolved feelings for Pang. And we get this flashback basically where they have a kanji date, and basically Officer Hottie says that like all of those feelings for Pang just came rushing back the minute she saw her because Officer Hottie's not over that relationship. Like she was trying to like move on, but like sometimes it's a roller coaster. It's like it's not a linear like I'm better cured. Like sometimes it's just a grief is a roller coaster. And so that's kind of where Officer Hottie's at. And then when Jan pushes her to be like, "Oh, basically you don't want to date me then." I like that Officer Hottie's like, I'm not ready to date anybody, which is so valid. Like, you forcing yourself into a relationship with somebody else when you're not ready will not end well. And so I appreciate that about this scene and the way it was written. And yes, it's a crime that Officer Hottie is single at the end of the show, but like also it's valid that it took her a long time to heal because this relationship with Pang really like it was very deep for her. And so like healing from that is going to take her a very, very long time. And we see in the flashback like how devastated Officer Hottie looks. And Jan is also really upset because like she was invested in this relationship too. But ultimately she lets Officer Hottie go without a fight. So that says a lot about Jan's emotional maturity.
She's so emotionally
I
mature.
know.
Like,
I
she,
love
like,
Jan.
literally processes and is like, "Okay, now's not the time to feel those things," and she's just so supportive and understanding of Officer Hottie.
Yeah.
And
I love that about Jan.
we rack focus from Jan to the plant to get into this flashback of what happened the previous night.
Mhm.
And I just have to say, now Jan has her own plant trauma when she looks at this plant.
Yep. Well, it's not like they bought them together, but the plants are watching all of this.
Yes.
Jan has a lot of fucking plants at her apartment. It's kind of a lot. All right. So then after Officer Hottie leaves because she can't be there anymore, Jan goes and picks up the tarot cards and she's like, "You lied to me. My soulmate is not in my life right now. What the hell, tarot cards?
'Cause
I thought we were friends."
Because it could only be one person, right?
Well, I mean, I understand where she's coming from. Okay, so then as she's having that thought in the flashback, we immediately cut back to the present where Jan is literally having a conversation with Ping, her soulmate. And I love the timing of the voiceover where Jan is thinking about that memory and she says in her brain, basically like the tarot cards, like you said my soulmate was coming. And as she finishes saying that, she turns to look at Pang. The sentence finishes, and it's just well done, everyone at Pluto. That was so good.
Yes. It really mm.
Yep. 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 So good. Okay, so back to this conversation. So Pang admits that she didn't know any of that happened with Officer Hottie. She just wanted to apologize about making things weird and wish Jan happiness with Officer Hottie. She's like, "Well, I wanted to congratulate you on your new relationship, but I realize now that that's not happening. So I'm sorry again." And Jan is basically like, "Well, I'm not going to turn down a free plant because I love plants. So let's just call this a housewarming gift instead." And then proceeds to grab the pot and she's trying to take it from Pang. But she does it by grabbing her hands over Pang's hands, which is not how you take things from other people. And then Jan and Pang get in this like tug of war over the pot. And Pang looks like she wants to say something, and it's like working up the courage. And Jan's just super confused. And then so Pang's like, "Okay, wait, let me put my hands over yours when I say this, because this is Pang's like, you know, just like when I was gonna say I love you, she's like working herself up for it and trying to be cute about it, and it's very, very cute. But poor Jan doesn't know what's going on. So then Pang then proceeds to ask out Jan, is what she's doing. And then I love that Jan takes a full minute to process this, starting with, "Huh?" and ending with, "Hold on a second. She's in my life. She's into me. She's into plants. Is this tiny gay my soulmate?" And the scene ends with them holding the pot and staring at each other. And like that's how the scene ends. And so my question is, how long did they stand there holding that pot together?
At least 2 minutes.
Question for the audience. How long were Jan and Pang standing there holding that pot? They could have kept the conversation going, but like how long were they holding the plant together? That's my question.
That's a good point. Um, Pang was really channeling her big energy here.
I mean, you have to have some level of big gay energy if you're gonna ask out Jan.
Yes.
So, because Jan has the most big gay energy.
Like, this whole part of the scene is hilarious the way that it goes
so
down.
cute.
Because,
It's so
like,
cute.
it comes out of nowhere
It
for
sure does.
Jan.
For Jan. That's what I mean. Jan's like, "What?" And then she's like, "Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You've been here all along. You like plants. We actually have stuff in common." Because all her and Officer Heidi had in common was the kanji. That's why she's always like, "If I don't have this, you're not going to come over just to see me, are you?" But like, here's Ping just being like, "Well, I just felt bad. I just wanted to see you." And all. It's very cute.
Yep.
All right. So after the disaster gaze, we then cut over to May, who's visiting her parents for some reason. And she's sitting on the couch with her mother, and her mother asks her how her sight is doing. And mom like touches her face. She's doing the same thing she did when May was a little girl. She's like, "Good job, way to read." And here we are when May's an adult. And she's asking about May. She's like, how are you? How is your health? That's what mom asked. Not why are you here, May, which is my question watching this. And I like that May just smiles and says nothing. And I think the reason May doesn't do anything is because I don't think she wants her father to know about her vision restoration so that he's going to underestimate her. And she knows from experience that her mother will not fight with her. So she's keeping that information from her mother too right now. I don't think I don't think her not saying anything is a reflection of like May's and her mother's relationship being damaged. I think this is all part of her 3D, 6D chess strategy she's about to execute. That's like the most insane thing I've ever seen and makes me love May.
Yeah, and we see that May can now see her mother's face.
Yeah.
Like it's still dark around the edges and a little foggy, but you can see detail in her face. So like her progress is very like tremendous growth really quickly.
Right. That's why May is like scared by how quickly it's getting good. Excuse me. Unfortunately, May's father enters the room, and the first thing he says is, "Did you come back because you have nowhere else to go?" Now, this is the same man at the beginning of the show who's been hounding Ton to bring May back to live into this house. Remember those conversations where Ton's like, "You should move back home. Like, don't you're all alone here. You can't survive here. You need to go back home." And May's like, "Why?" She's like, "Because her dad was making him do that."
Yeah, I thought that was weird.
So like this is some fucked up shit where she comes back of her own accord, and now, which is what he wanted her to do, and then he accuses her of being unable to care for herself and like that she's desperate and she came back here. He's like, "Oh, you need me? Is that why you're here, May?" Bitch.
Yeah.
Bitch.
And it's like, I mean, I know in this moment he is just trying to like
Trying to be superior to her. That's what
yeah,
he's
assert
doing.
his authority over her and
Correct.
like not let it be from her own will. But like he can't even really see all the achievements she's made in her life because like she literally did what he asked and it's still not good enough for him.
Well, it's never going to be good enough because she's not a boy. That's the
Oh
whole.
yeah.
That's the root of this. May is a girl, therefore can never live up to his expectation of having a son to carry the family name. Like that's what this really is. This is a bunch of misogyny and like dad's butthurt about that.
And when he walks into the room, you can see the growth between the two of them. So, not the mom. Like the mother is still scared of the father, but
Yes.
May has unwavering confidence now to stand up for herself, and you can see that visually when we get the shot of them because there is determination in May's eyes. Her head is strong, looking up. She has no sense of like closing herself off to him. She's like, I got this.
She does because she knows how to fight with her own strengths now. Okay, so after he asks her this, just like with her mother, May smiles and says nothing.
She gives him a terrifying smile. And it's terrifying because she's in full power lawyer May mode, but with visual emotion because she knows she's about to checkmate him.
She's about to flip the board over. No, this is amazing. So May says nothing, but Ton does. So Ton gets up and then he bows and he hands over a very large envelope to May's father. And then announces that May's here to talk to him about something.
This shows growth for Ton as well, like because although he's now doing what May asked him, he actually wants to do this. And he is showing that he is now his own person and won't be controlled by the father any longer as well.
Well, you'll get to that. This is all May's doing, but yes. So this is part of May's plan. So he's the one telling her this. He's like, I'm the messenger because May wants to talk to you about something. So then Dad looks in the envelope and realizes that he fucked around and now he's in the find out stage. So then May informs him that Batman is, remember Batman, your best friend's son? He's being sued for stock manipulation.
And this is where I got reminded that Batman is his nickname.
Correct.
And she's like, he doesn't deserve that name.
No, he doesn't. But I'm just going to keep calling him Batman because I don't really care. what his name is. So then May is like, so then dad starts freaking out internally, and then May starts reading him to filth, and she's like, you're involved in this, aren't you, dad? That's why you're nervous, right? Were you the investor that was corrupted? Were you a stock manipulator? What did you do? Why are you taking this so personally? And the angrier this man gets, the more she smiles. And then she says, well, I can recommend a good attorney to you. Like, what a boss bitch move this is. And then she's like, you need a lawyer? I know a good one. And then she perfectly navigates around the furniture, which her father realizes means she can see. And then she tells him the name of the good attorney. It's Metawe. What a fucking mic drop moment from this bitch. I just can't with this scene. This might be one of my favorite scenes in the show, actually.
Been a long time coming.
It's so good. And it doesn't end here. But again, like this scene right here, right now, again, why did we get all those flashbacks at the beginning of the episode? Because this is a parallel moment to when May stood up to him when he was trying to manipulate Ton, right? Her father told May during that conversation that she was unable to stand up on her own 2 feet. She was incapable of being independent. And she is showing him right now that he needs her more than she needs him. Because when she was younger, that was the energy. He's like, you need me more than I need you, May. And she's like, bitch, that is not true anymore. You need me now. You need the good lawyer, right? Right? Because you're fucked. Oh, ooh, ooh. But May isn't done. She then informs her father that, Metawe is quite busy working on a different Batman case, but she can put in a good word with her legal team. So good.
It's such a power move.
I hope she's enjoying this as much as I am.
Oh, she definitely is.
So good. This is like, she outmaneuvers him in every single way. It's just insane. Because, like, this is how May fights back. And then May's mother's Stockholm syndrome kicks in, and she tells May she has to help her dad, which infuriates her father because it's again pointing out that he needs her more than she needs him. And her dad's like, don't beg her, because like begging is beneath him. He doesn't beg, he commands, and people just fall all over themselves to do what he wants. But like, he knows he is not in a position to do that right now with May, and that he has to beg her. And that's why she's smiling. She's like, I'm sorry, who's got the power here, Dad? But we're not done with her master game of chess, because while all the tension is hanging in the room, I shows up. And has the most awkward meet the parents moment.
All confidence like fades away from her when she sees May's father.
Because, yeah, no shit.
I mean, same. I would react the same way to him.
So this is a super awkward meet the parents. But May's father does not know that this is a first meeting. Instead, he gets triggered and yells that he can't believe has the audacity to show up in his house. Poor I. But here's the deal. But he's not in charge of the situation right now. May is in charge. So then May calls over to her and puts out her arm like she's summoning a dog. And then I enters the crossfire to get to May's side. And then May informs her father that she brought, quote, here to make a point that her girlfriend, the person he looks down on, has always stood beside her and is willing to blindly step into what is clearly a family fight and brave her father's anger just to fight alongside her, while her father was duped by his best friend's idiot son named Batman, because surely rich men with good reputations don't do bad things. So like he went along with their stock thing, and now he's in hot water. And my assumption about I being here is that May didn't tell I any of this was going to happen. I assume I genuinely didn't know what she was walking into. Okay. I think what happened is that because I was like, I'm going to pick you up tomorrow. I have a surprise for you. And May's like, great. She's probably just texted I the address of this house, the time she needed to arrive, and instructions to come inside. That's probably all she told her. And
Yeah.
then May timed this whole thing perfectly. And May, because again, I don't think she told I think that May was so confident that I would just walk in, regardless of what was happening, and come to her because I has always been brave and I always stands up to bullies. So I think she knew I was just whatever it was, I was going to come in and just come directly to her rescue. She's the prince she's been looking for. That's not going to let her be emotionally and physically abused, regardless of who these people are. Like I was just going to walk in and come stand next to her. And there is no bigger bully on the show than May's father.
That is very, very, very true.
Yeah. I don't think I knew any of this was gonna
No.
happen. I think May
No,
just timed it all.
the way she, like, comes into the scene and she's like, "Oh, shit, what's going on? Oh,
Mhm,
wait,
mhm.
say greet them."
I'm meeting the parents. Why is he yelling at me? I don't think she knew. And then she's just like, come, like she calls her like a dog. And like my eye just runs over. It's so cute.
Yeah, like, she literally she's like, "I don't wanna be here anymore, let me go to her."
Hmm. Okay, so back to this awkwardness. So then May's father yells and screams, and May very, very calmly says, I'm here to pass along news of the lawsuit and let you know I will never represent that idiot Batman ever again. And regardless of what you want, Dad. And it's not because his DUI case that I worked on made me blind. And once she says this, I looks at May because that is brand new information to I that the Batman case led to her being blind. And that knowledge is going to haunt I later when she puts together the whole case. So I did learn something in this conversation, and it was the root origin of the blinding. Because I don't think May fully told her all the details of that.
Oh, shit, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, this is I learning that for the first time. Mm-hmm. And it's going to haunt I later.
Oh, yeah, it does.
And she says that again, she's not doing that. She will refuses to represent Batman again, not because of what happened to her, but not because she was blinded, because it made her father blind. And we all know that her father, by coercing her to take that case, because Batman is his best friend's son, his only son, his heir, that her father lost the moral high ground that day. Because why did he do that? It's because he cares more about his reputation than his entire family, including his daughter. And again, remember, all this shit with May's dad is purely in the television show. None of this happens in Chow's novel. And I think the GMMTV writers are putting this here, this scene, this part right now where she's like, I wasn't only blinded, you were blinded. And I think the GMMTV writers did that to set up his redemption arc.
Mm.
But Your Honor, this episode started with a flashback from 2004 where this man was yelling at his daughter for not being academically perfect because I assume that hurts his reputation. It already hurt his reputation that he can't have a son. Like May is his only child because mom can't have more kids. So I think he was butthurt by that. It's a girl. All I have is a girl. And the girl's not perfect in his brain. Okay, that was 2004. By showing us this, my conclusion is that May's father has been like this, blinded, for a long time. Because this line with May in the present makes it sound like the Batman case changed him. He was like this the whole time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that line makes it sound like, oh, he was fine until the case, and that was
Oh, no, he's just a terrible person.
right. No, he's been like, you just showed me, writers, that he's been like this the whole fucking time. So his redemption arc doesn't make any fucking sense.
It doesn't, and it never will.
It
You can't
never
convince us otherwise.
right. No, and I think this line here was supposed to imply that he can change, and it's like, but you showed me he's been like this the whole time. Like, so no, I rebuke that. Okay. All right. Anyway, back to the conversation. So May tells her father, "You and I are not the same," meaning I'm better than you, which is those are facts, May. And then she leaves with quote and they get the fuck out of this house. So then after May and leave, Tom then steps up and says his piece and basically says, well, if you want, Dad, I will convince May to take on this case as a repayment for all the quote kindness that you have done for me, which is paying for med school, which May's father 100% did. Not out of the kindness of his heart because this is his nephew and that's what family does. He 100% financed that so he could hold it over Ton. So that Ton is then obligated to do his bidding because he's like, you owe me, Ton. I did this big thing for you. You now owe me. That's why he did it. Again, this man has been like this the whole time. It wasn't the Batman case that made him suddenly evil. He's been evil the whole time.
The evilest.
The evilest. So Tom is basically saying here, hey, you're in a bind. You're too prideful to ask May yourself. So how about I beg on your behalf, convince her to do it. And then when she gets you off all charges, I will then be off the hook forever. Like that's my payment, basically. So here's the deal. You were saying that Ton stepped in here and just did this. This is May the mastermind. So listen about this. May masterminded this whole situation and reverse unoed years of her father's abuse and manipulation and managed to set this up so that Ton could free himself from this fuck shit. This is all May. May did all this.
That really is a strategy power move.
She's a fucking genius.
She is, and it's terrifying.
This is one of my favorite May scenes. Like the way she was so calm and she walked in there. Because again, like being angry and aggressive that's what her father wants. Because he's like, yeah, you want to fight me? You want to fight me? And she's like, I'm just the messenger. I'll see you in a court of law. Like, because that's her domain. That is how she fights back. We've seen her do that throughout the show. Remember when I was about to get scammed on her door dashing?
Mm-hmm.
And May's like, I'm going to sue you for all this. Show her my card. Oh, you're actually a lawyer. Yeah, I filmed all that. So keep talking. And suddenly everybody reverses course. That's her superpower. And it's just what a contrast to like when she was young and she tried to do what I did, which is like be aggressive and fight back, and it didn't work. And now May found the way to fight. And like nobody can beat her because she's so good at her method of fighting that she saved herself. She saved Ton. Chef's kissed her.
She's just great. She is. I mean, she's a manipulator in her own right.
Oh yeah,
she uses it for good.
This is manipulation for sure. And May's constantly manipulating everybody. Like she gets from her dad.
The last thing I have is I just love the fact that we end this part with her father looking back and forth, not knowing what to do because his power is gone.
And he knows it. And I love that for him.
Yep. All right. So before we get into part 2 of episode 9, let's take a break to give us some shout outs to our Chaos crew over on Patreon. Woo! All right, so our Chaos crew members on the Big A Ride or Die tier and above are Amix Monzone _multi, Ariel W, Danny, Erica LC, Here For It, Jasmine O, Jill L, Cassie M, Leona, Michelle G, Monet F, Moving Forward Leading, Nancy D, Natalia, Pooja S, and Warjipachin. Woo! Our featured Big A supporters for this episode are KN, Gabriella, and Priscilla R. Yay. Thank you so much for all of your support. We literally could not run this podcast without you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We really appreciate you. And we really appreciate everybody who's watching and listening to this podcast because we could not do it without you either.
No.
We would just be screaming into the void if you were not interacting with this podcast. And speaking of interacting, if you can't join Patreon, that's totally fine. Make sure you come join our Discord so you can talk to us and a bunch of other people who are queer media lovers. There's always a conversation going on over there. Mm-hmm. So go meet your people, have fun, and just connect with one another because it's just so great to see the community that has been built. So picking up with part 2, we see May in I's new van. May is ecstatic being with I in the vehicle she brought to pick her up in. But before I even gets in there, May can actually see things now.
Yes.
So she's having fun literally looking around at everything while she's waiting for I. So she's like looking in the mirror, just looking at different things in the van. And it's adorable, but like, girl, I is right there.
Well, I can't see her and I doesn't know. I just met the parents in the most awkward way possible. That's not what I is thinking about right now. But it's really, really cute how excited May is, first of all, especially on the cusp of the fuck shit with her family. But also, like, this is going to be really important because this is one of the first times that May can see how I takes care of her and like how much thought and effort I puts into things and that May would never have known about because I doesn't announce these things that she does. And also like I told her nothing about what they're doing. Like she's like, what are we doing? What is May's never been in a van before, let's be honest. So she's like, what is this vehicle? It's not like a Porsche. Like, what is happening? Like, this is all new and exciting. Like, let's be real. Has anyone ever like had a sleepaway camp night with May, like when she was a kid? Probably never. She probably has no idea what the hell's going on. That's part of the excitement with I, is that you can't predict I, you know?
Yeah, she has no idea where they are.
No, she doesn't know. But so it's really cute to be like, what is this? I thought she just had a motorbike. What is this? But
Yeah.
also, more importantly, when I does get in the car, May can see how good I looks, which is probably more important.
Yes.
I looks really good.
You're welcome, May.
Yes, she
I'm
always looks like
so
this.
glad for you.
Congratulations!
That you can finally see
how hot she is.
I in all her glory
Yes.
because gosh, she looks great. I was gonna say that she looked gay again, but you know, she always looks gay, and that's why that's always my note.
Yeah, she looks so good, May. Congratulations.
So I apologizes to May, like that the van might not be the most comfortable, but May is just glad that I came to get her. And I tells May as soon like she explains why she has this van. So like as soon as she paid off the motorcycle, she put down a payment on this vehicle, but she had to wait for it to be fixed up. So she couldn't use it yet. But conveniently, it just got fixed. And I just want to say I am so proud of her for getting her motorcycle paid off and being able to finance a second car. Like, this girl is door dashing hard.
Yes. I also really love her motivation for getting the van. So it wasn't just to like have a second car, which to your point is impressive. She got it because she's like, I thought it'd be useful for moving things. Like because Mima has to move things for the shop. So like she got it to help out her family first and foremost, which is not surprising based on everything we know about I. Okay. But the second reason she got it, she's like, oh, I also thought it would be fun to go camping. So I like that she also got it for herself.
Yes.
You know? Because like helping the family, totally, that is I's MO only. But she also thought about herself with this purchase, which I thought was also really revealing and really cute. And like here she is getting to use it for that, which is sweet, but I is very sweet.
It definitely was like the lowest reason on her list, but it's nice that she's still doing something
Well,
for
it's like
herself.
she's two reasons, and like family's always first for I always comes second to her family. So like that makes sense, the order of that. Yeah.
So May tells I that she's glad to be her first passenger. And like this is when I turns to May and make sure her whole attention is on May as she tells her how happy she is to be her first love. Like this
Fucking cute. I'm so
I know.
fucking cute.
Like the weight's finally off I's shoulder. She's like, this love is meant for me.
This love is good. This love is bad.
Love is love from the down. Sorry. Taylor Swift, everybody.
Yeah. Only you, me and you together, me and you forever. It works everywhere. Thanks, Queendom. If you haven't watched that show, go watch it. What are you doing with your life?
Seriously,
Anyway.
what are you
What
doing?
are you doing? Go watch Queendom. Anyway, continue, Kaitlynn.
So May tells I that she used to think about how to like get out of this life until one day someone told her to fight. And May continues to tell I how she changed her life because basically I helped her fight. Like so she got a scholarship to study abroad And that meant that she didn't need her father's money and she got to be out from under her roof. Like she did everything she could to break out from her father's control.
Yes. I do. So, two things about that. I love the fact that May takes the time to tell I why she fell in love with her. It wasn't just like, I saw you and like, look at you. Obviously, you're hot, first of all. But she tells her, like, it wasn't just that you saved me that one day from Mint and her minions. It was the fact that you changed my life forever by the advice you gave me. And I love that she tells, because, like, let's be honest, I does not fully remember that encounter. She does not, because we get to the very end of the show and I's like, I don't remember any of that, May, for real. Like, she doesn't remember the encounter. So I like in vivid detail. So I like that May like tells her why. And how we saw very thoroughly that, like, obviously fist fighting is not her jam. She uses her intelligence to fight back. And so after I gave her that advice, to your point, then May used her intelligence to start completely outmaneuvering him and like using Ton as the example, right? Because like the reason we were in that flashback where May first stood up to him is because her father was lording over Ton because he's like, I paid for your school, therefore I own you now. So as May was getting ready to get out of high school, because her and I met in high school, she's like, if he pays for my college, he's going to own me forever and I can never break free of him because he'll be like, you went to law school, I paid for it, you're my personal lawyer forever now. So May got that example from Ton. And so I like that she did literally everything in her power to not be beholden to him. Like, she is smart enough to get a scholarship. Like, she didn't need one financially because her parents had money, but he would have lorded over her forever for that. So she's like, I will use my intelligence to be free of him financially. And like, that's amazing. It's amazing that she got free, like, but Ton unfortunately was like the sacrifice because he was the example of like
Yeah.
what would happen if she let him pay for school. Cause like they have the funds. It's just that her father would have used that to manipulate her forever.
And that is the very last thing she would ever want.
Well, then the Batman case, she would have been forced into the Batman case because of that. Like,
Yeah, because like
she,
I paid for you to become a
you're
lawyer.
my lawyer. My friend is in trouble. Help him. I paid for this.
Yeah.
That's how that would have went down. Like,
She would have been doing a lot more of those
correct.
cases.
Correct. Exactly. Right. So really, from the instant I came into her life, like May figured out how she can fight back, and it's because she's fucking smart. And then she really leaned into that, and that put her on the trajectory to be the successful lawyer that she is. Because to your point, if she had to do her father's bidding as his personal lawyer, her reputation would have been tarnished a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And then continuing in the scene, I tells May that her May is the most capable
Ugh,
girl in the world.
you're so cute.
And then she kisses her hand like the prince she is for
Yes,
May.
yes. The chivalrous hand kiss. It's the prince and princess energy. Again, like that writing is on purpose. He's so cute.
I love that I is now owning the fact that May's love is hers. Like she's like
Oh yeah.
my May.
She's like,
Like
this
this
is mine.
always been mine. And like, okay, yeah, they still have to deal with the conversation that I is not
Yes.
but now she knows that May's love was always meant for her, and
Correct.
that's what means the world to her.
Mm-hmm.
And May is obviously happy with everything, how everything's going right now. But you know, she is still curious about what they are doing. So like she tells I to go already because she still I in like true I fashion still has not told May.
They're in the van. I still hasn't told her what's happening. And I have to say, like, as they get ready to leave, we then get the instrumental to Somewhere Only We Know that starts playing. And it continues to when they get to where they're going, which I think is perfect because, like, I is taking them somewhere private to do something exclusively together. This is going to be a memory they are only privy to. So I do think that song fits very nicely here.
Yeah, it does.
Also, it's really cute when I gets ready to go and like starts the engine up. Like, May perks up and gets really excited when she hears the engine because, like I said, she's never been in a van before.
Yeah.
And so it's cute to see her be childlike and like unguarded with her emotions and excited to have fun with and I think this was a good thing to put in here and a good acting choice because, like, again, what a contrast to the grim reality of what her childhood was like and how isolating and like unfun those environments were, and how like it wasn't even child friendly a lot of it when she was a kid. So it's cute to see her like in a new environment that's like it's a messy van. It's like a no rules kind of place versus like she couldn't make a mess in that house as a kid. Let's be honest, like so it's good to see her get to be free emotionally and in this environment where she can just be herself, which I like. It's just even simple of just like being in this van.
Yeah, it's very true. Okay, so I drives off to where they will be camping. And when they get there, the gentlewoman, jumps out of the car and
Yes.
immediately opens May's door for her. And like to be fair, she still thinks that May can't see. So there's that. But she would do this no matter
Yes.
what.
No, she was doing this anyway. And personally, I feel like I should have given May a little bit of warning about where they were going because poor May is not dressed for the outdoors. Like when she takes her out of the car, you can see she's still wearing heels. And in I's brain, May is blind. So you got your blind girlfriend who's about to walk around on unpaved terrain in heels, which feels dangerous like to her like health. So I feel like I should have given her a little bit of warning or asked Han to be like, can you bring her sneakers or something? So, you know what I mean? Like, because May allegedly
Yeah.
can't see.
I feel like I just doesn't put too much thought into wardrobe in general.
No, but but it's not that though. She does think through a lot of things when it comes to May. Like, remember when they went to the hotel and she's like, I brought all your candles you needed, and like I feel like I would do something like that. I'm surprised she didn't be like, oh, I have these new shoes for you because I asked Ton because like we're not in Kansas anymore or whatever, like
Yeah.
yeah. I always every time I see that shot of May's like heels, I'm like, I feel so bad for her. She's supposed to walk around. It's with your vision, it's hard. She's supposed to not have her vision right now. Anyway, damn it.
Yeah, not having your vision. I mean, like having your vision and having to pretend like you're not like
Well,
what film's doing.
that's that.
Literally filming
The whole
this.
thing, yeah.
That has to be so hard.
Like walking in grass in heels. That's not safe. Just saying.
It's a recipe for disaster.
Correct.
Yeah. So after I helps May out of the vehicle, May is stunned by the view. And I feel like the same view was seen, when she was inside the van. But she was distracted by the van itself, so I guess it works.
But now she's like out of the van. You can like hear the sounds of nature. She can feel the wind. She puts her arms out because she can like she's in it now.
That's true.
I don't know what I think she's doing because like allegedly she can't see. I have the question.
Yeah, no, she doesn't question a lot of things because, like, you can literally see May's face, like, when she sees it, she's just, like, blown away. And then that's when the wind comes in. She's, like, literally blown away by this view.
I sometimes is really not observant. I think she's just very excited that May's smiling and is not thinking too much about it. And, like, I's gonna tell May why they're here, which is a whole other thing. But, like, girl! I know, it's pretty obvious a lot of this time that May can see stuff. I's just a bad spy.
And we'll get into that more.
I know.
So May is trying to describe what she is feeling, and she starts by saying, "This is," but then stops because I puts her arms around her and holds her tight. And like they're both genuinely happy and content in this moment. And it's just so nice to see them like this. And I tells her she wants to make it up for her for like last time for not taking her on an overnight trip. And May is like, overnight? You didn't mention anything about that.
She didn't mention anything at all.
And, like, I really feel like I should have mentioned that because, like, that is a lot if she wasn't expecting it. Like, overnight is that's big.
Okay, but then I tells her why they're actually doing an overnight trip, and, like, she's like, "Well, I wanted to pick up where we left up last time in the hotel room when we were supposed to have an overnight trip, you know, the sexy times." And I love that May then goes on a face journey when she realizes that's what I is saying. Not only did she take her on a camping trip because I clearly likes camping, hence the van that's meant for that, but she's like, "Oh, I took you here so we could have a private romantic first time under the stars kind of thing." And May's like, "Oh my god, that's why we're here." Like, and you could hear it in her voice that she's being really sincere and like made this confession more intimate by essentially like putting her arms around May's waist and like holding her, you know, while she's doing that. And then she's like, after being like, "We're gonna have sex tonight," essentially saying that. May has tried to process that. And then she's like really sweetly like, "You want to stargaze with me first though?" Like, which is cute because we know May likes space, but like, girl, this is so cute because I took May to the planetarium. Remember when they were doing the stargazing and she in the planetarium, she's like, "I'll just describe everything to you." And then here's I being like, "I know you like this. Let me take you out into actual nature where we can actually do this for real for real, like real life stargazing." Like, this is what I mean. Like, I has this attention to detail when it comes to May, and like that's incredible. And she always like she knows what like to me, like this is the perfect date for May. And
Yes.
because like May looks so excited when she's hearing this, because I think this is like her idea of a perfect date. And like here's I just doing it. Like she didn't tell May any of this. She just brought her here. He's like, "Here's the perfect date."
Yeah, I can't handle, like, how cute it is that she asked, like, to
Mhm,
watch the
mhm.
stars with her that
But
night.
she asks too. She's not like, "That's what we're doing." She's like, will you do this with me?" That was cute. She's so romantic. That's one of the reasons I love I. She's a
Effortlessly.
very romantic.
Oh gosh, she really does nail it.
She does.
Okay, so then I assume, spends a couple hours
Yes.
setting up their campsite with things that she brought to make it look homey, including the white and blue bunting flags
Yep.
that were used for the makeshift Ploy's restaurant.
Which means that Pang and Jan couldn't return those. They had to keep them. They bought them. And they're like, "I guess these are yours now, I." So I love that I reuse. Can we talk about how extra this is?
Yes, because there's also lights. Which did she steal that from Ploy's restaurant? Because I think
They're the same lights.
they're the same lights.
Yes.
A table and like some other decorative plant thingies. I don't know what they're called.
Uh-huh. Yeah. No, okay, so like here's the deal. Some of this stuff has function. Okay, so like the table and chairs, they have to
So,
sit down and eat. Sure.
mhm.
Lights they will need at night because they're in the woods. But like she has little plants in pots. So it's not like she went out and like collected flowers and like put them in a cup or something. This bitch brought potted plants with her, throw towels, like all like literal decorations, and then set them up for who I may can't see.
Yeah, but
Who
you can
is this
tell
for?
she wanted everything perfect. But like, okay, so going back to like May and stuff. Since May is supposed to be fully blind, like I assume she was just in the corner,
Watching I do
yeah,
this.
secretly watching I set up everything and like just giggling to herself with each thing I continued to take out of the van. It's like a clown car.
Yeah, no, things keep coming out. But here's the deal though. Like yes, you can make fun of I for being so extra because she is. She's this was so extra. But here's the deal. Here's what's unique about this situation because we've seen I do this. I did this when she recreated Ploy's restaurant, but May couldn't see that, right? I could just describe it to her. But here's a different situation where I is putting in all this effort for May. Like she's doing this for May. Those are the bunting flags that were for May, like you said, the lights that she probably had in the fake restaurant for Ploy. And I was doing this. This is from May's point of view. I was doing this with the knowing that May can't see it, but she's doing it. And so
Yeah.
here's like, but from I's point of view, like to her, May deserves the world, and I will do whatever she can to give May the world. And so May can see I at least partially, because her vision's not 100%, but she can see enough. So like May's finally able to witness all the effort that I puts into her that never goes acknowledged.
Mhm.
She's just doing it because that's how I feels about May. She wants everything to be perfect for May. With the knowledge that like this is gonna be our first time having sex too. Like I'm just doing this to be like everything's gonna be perfect for you, even if you can't see it. Like, May, what are you waiting for? Like, why are you waiting to tell her everything? Because like you can see how much this right here proves how much she loves you. Cause like
This right here would be a great moment to tell her.
right, because like you can see how much she loves you by all the effort she's putting in. That and like the thing is like she saw enough of her mother's face so like she can see some facial expression. So it's like,
Yeah,
girl, like
she can
what?
definitely.
Like why are you doing this now?
Yeah, I don't understand why we
I
waited
don't get
longer.
it, but like maybe May is a greedy bitch and
Her
she's like,
mom's face was definitely clear enough.
I think May is a greedy bitch and she's like, I want to have sex with I. I think that's what this is. Or like, how far is I willing to go with this surprise date? I just want to be in this surprise date and not ruin it. Like it could be that too. Like, because like this is romantic as fuck what I is do. Everything I does.
It's true.
Okay. And then to top it all off, then we get into the product placement scene because we have
Yeah.
to have one. So then also like May can watch, like his I's gonna make her noodles because that's what we're selling, which is valid. But can also watch how carefully I preps her food. Like it's like every little thing I is doing is like for her, and she can see how attentive and like I is to like just doing stuff for her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's just setting up the thing, and then I's gonna make her food, and it's just like she puts all this care into everything she's doing. And like, this is the first time May really got to see all this effort I puts into her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you can tell that it makes her so happy to see this.
Yes.
Again, May, this is proof.
Yeah.
Tell her.
Right. She loves you. Like you can see it. You see it in her eyes. An action person. You see it in her actions.
Yeah, and like in the scene, while I's making like fantastic product placement noodles, May is literally staring at everything she is doing. And like you brought up before, Thee, May can clearly see what I is doing.
Correct.
And if I wasn't oblivious, she could see that. I mean,
But I's focused on prepping May's food right now. Nothing's going to divide her attention from that.
that's true. But
You know.
come on, oblivious I. I mean, May literally says the noodles look yummy. Like, which to her credit, like, does get I's attention.
Yeah,
But
no, I honestly noticed that the terrible spy, even catches that. To be honest
I
with
am
you.
too.
I'm shocked she caught that. To be honest, because girl, she's staring you straight in the eyes right now. she's she's been looking in your face more often now, and like I
Yeah, like,
now
no,
cat
that doesn't
right,
register.
that doesn't register.
And usually words don't register either
No,
to
I
her.
know. I was surprised
So,
she caught this.
especially with being focused on the noodles.
Correct. Yeah, no, it's weird.
But I love May's, oh shit, I just got caught face. Because this means she's truly off guard. Like, this never happens to her. She is
No.
always 10 steps ahead of everybody.
Again, I is the one person that catches that can thwart all her. But she can't predict I is the thing.
Yeah, she can't predict her, but being with I also means she feels safe. And
Yes.
once they finally have the conversation about who I is, May won't have to be careful at all around I, and she can just truly be herself.
Same with I. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they're gonna feel so much better. So, like, guys, just get it over with, man.
It's gonna happen. Couple more episodes.
So we then get a quick flashback to Tan asking May about when she's going to tell I about her eyesight. You know, like we're all wondering, and it definitely wasn't supposed to be now when
No.
she got caught. Uh, and May tells Tan she will when she can look I in the eye. She can look her in the
I feel
eye
like you
right
can
now.
do that right
Yeah,
now.
you can definitely do that right now. That was not a helpful
No.
flashback.
No. Mm-mm.
So May tries to save herself. She does by saying she meant it smells good.
And she looks off into the distance and stops making eye contact
Yes.
with I.
And
Awesome.
like goes back to like being full in on the blindness. And Like, but this is unlike May to mess up like this because she's very deliberate with her words.
Yes.
And I knows that as well.
Yes.
But I goes with it because she's an oblivious, loving idiot.
Yes.
And we love her for it.
We do.
So I then helps guide May to eat the noodles. And like, damn, do they make these noodles look good. And
Yes, they do.
I don't mean the noodles themselves because we don't really fully see the noodles. We just see like when they're eating it. But they make it look like such a magical time eating them.
They do. And I also noticed a few things during this is that the Rihanna song shows up a lot for product placement scenes. Which is it's the melody is from the Rihanna song, which we pointed out, but there's an OST by Film that has the Rihanna song, so it's their OST, but Rihanna is here for the product placement. And I also noticed that these two are always hinting at marriage during their product placement scenes.
Oh yeah.
Always during the product placement scenes, specifically when Rihanna's here. I don't know why, but like
Rihanna brings the love.
Rihanna brings forever love, I guess, to their product placement scenes. And then as this like goes on, I feel like this scene is mostly like these two actors fucking around because they start just like being weird and childish towards the end of it.
Oh
And
my
I'm just
god,
like,
yeah,
I
it's
feel
just
like
like
this
their
is just them.
interviews and
Yeah,
like it's just
this
them
is
being
just
together.
them. They're just like be yourselves and
Yeah,
sell these, I guess.
But first, Film has to read the ad script and calls the noodles hot and savory, very yummy.
Yes.
And like then tells I her cooking is the best, which you know, even I knows is a stretch because all she did was put water and packets into the noodles.
But she'll take the compliment.
And then May feeds the noodles to I, and I also agrees the noodles are tasty. So these are very tasty product placement noodles.
They are.
And then May says that she guesses I should make them more for her. And then Smooth Eye randomly shows up and comes out to play because she's like, what if I make them for you for the rest of my life?
Again, marriage. They're
And
always talking about marriage.
Of course, cheeky May has to come out to play and says, I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out. So now they are engaged.
Yeah.
And May jokes and asks if she made I blush. And I love I's response to this because she says, just eat, you wicked thing.
It's really cute, which is yes.
Hilarious. I love the way that that was said. And so they then continue to do their noodle product placement stuff. And eventually, Lady and the Tramp, the noodles, meaning like they both eat the noodles and kind of meet at the same time. And it's a quite a long product placement scene.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But then after the product placement scene, we transition into like a montage. And I will say, when we do transition, we actually finally get the lyrics from Film's OST, like where she's singing, not just the Rihanna beat. So it's like the first and the only time we actually get this song and the lyrics from the song.
Yeah.
So I noticed that. I was like, oh, it's the first time. Because I think maybe because this is a May moment, like May is the focus of this entire trip. Like I set it up for May. Because last time when she set up she being I set up the Ploy restaurant and like sang her the song, it was really about creating the fantasy because May couldn't see and like it was this big meaningful thing and I wanted her to be comfortable. But this is really about her and May having a beautiful time together, and I think May is the focus, and hence like we get Film's song during this.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
So the start of the montage is May and I sitting in like this little field in front of a stream where I'm assuming that I is describing everything in vivid detail because her hands like gliding across the scenery. And May does her best blind girl impression by pretending not to know where to look when I is starting to take pictures of them.
Can we talk about the fact that I love that I brought a digital camera to take photos and then is taking selfies with a digital camera when they both have cell phones?
That's a great.
I love that I did that. Because again, she's so extra. She's like, well, I want the best possible photos that we can get. So we're actually going to take photos.
Honestly, I feel like the phone might have been better.
Well, you don't know what model phone they have. We don't know.
That's true. That is true.
But it's cute. Again, it's about the effort that I puts into everything. She brought a separate device just so they can take photos.
She's committed.
No,
She's
she's
loving.
just really romantic and really thoughtful is the thing. Like, when
Yeah,
she
that's the
does
word.
something, she's extremely thoughtful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So after taking photos together, and by May's self, because she had no choice, because Eisen controlled the camera, they then go into the stream and have a playful time with the water. There, she Eyes helping May like feel the water, and then gets Eye grabs a little bit of water and trickles it down. May splashes the water that's on her hands into Eye's face.
And I just want to talk about that part because that part is so May was such a brat. So May can kind of see what's going on. So I is like being like, oh, here's water. And then May does a big flick of the water into I's face. And then I starts laughing. And then when I turns back around, May, the brat, is like doing little light flicks of water still in her face. Like she keeps going. And like the bitch can see. So it's like, it's kind of fucked up that she keeps doing that, but it's really funny. It's very a brat move.
Yeah.
I love that part. She's like, ha ha, I'm gonna keep doing it. What am I doing? I can't see.
I
Like, you know what I
can't see.
mean?
I'm
Yeah.
just trying to get water off my
Right. She's
hands.
just being a brat and she can see, which is funny.
Oh my gosh.
But then we transition to my favorite part,
Like,
which is
hold
the
on, that
foot
scene
clearing scene.
was basically just them being cute, but also living in the moment,
Yes.
which is a great opportunity for both of them because they don't get to do that often.
No.
So it's just so great to see them like fully being present.
Yes.
And then once they get out, I wipes down May's feet, which shows how much she cares about her even more because this is considered like the dirtiest part of the body.
Culturally in
Yeah,
Thailand,
culturally.
yes. Yeah, I think this is the most important part of the montage because not only is I doing this, like you said, May's watching I do it. And so to May, this is showing I's how deep I's devotion is to her, that she's doing this without complaint, without anything. Yeah.
Yeah, May is definitely enjoying having I take care of her.
Well, I has been taking care of her, but like now she can really see all the things I was doing the whole time that she just because I is not a bragging person. I is not like, well, I did all these things and I did it because XYZ and look at how much effort I put in. Should aren't I great? Like I just does it and doesn't say anything. She just
Mhm.
does it. Like the candle thing, I did not tell her she did that. May had to bring it up. So, like, again, when she was setting up the campsite, who knows if she was narrating what she was doing? Probably not, because I didn't tell her anything. She probably just did it and was like, the campsite is set up. And probably didn't tell her all the 50 million things she did to set up that campsite. So I think it's really, this whole thing is really great because, like, May can really see, like, what I is doing. It's just I does so much and she doesn't take credit for it. She just does it because she loves May and because that's what she's like with the people she loves. And so I think that that was important for May to like really see just how much I cares
Yeah.
for the first time. That's like a big first. Like this episode has a lot of firsts. And it's also a first for just like May being able to see Eyes like the deep how deep Eyes devotion really is.
Which is what she's wanted all along.
Well, she's that's why I don't understand why it takes her so long to confess because like this is the evidence of how much that I loves you and it's not just this like because like if I was trying to dupe you and it wasn't real, she wouldn't go through all this effort.
No, and you can see the recognition on her face that she sees that and she knows that this is showing that I is very devoted to her. So again, I do not know why.
Yeah, and like especially in the foot cleaning scene because like she can see she like May is like if you watch her in that scene, May is dying to look at I when she's doing this, but she has to when I looks up, she has to be like, I can't see you. And then the minute I turns back to what she was doing, I May very quickly looks at I, and she can see that I is not only like cleaning her feet, but she's smiling while she's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's not like I is like begrudgingly doing these things because if May couldn't see, she could be scowling, be like, "Ew, this is gross," because May would never know. But she's smiling. Like all the evidence is right there, May. Like, come on, girl.
Oh yeah.
I think May's a thirsty bitch, and she's like, "I want to get to the end of this evening." and not spoil it. I think that's what this is really all
That's,
about.
I mean, that's
Honestly.
plausible.
And I don't blame her because, like, look at I. Like, yes, go get
She
it.
can
Go
now.
get it. Yeah, exactly. Get it, girl.
But again, I know we'll get there later, but it's
will.
still terrible that, like,
Yep.
she
Yep, we'll get there later.
Okay.
It is terrible.
Yeah.
It is.
Anyway.
But I understand. Look at I get it.
Yes.
I get it.
Yeah. Mhm.
Mhm.
Yes.
I get it.
Anyway, moving on from that scene, we head to Ploy's restaurant where Ton shows up to visit Ploy.
And I love that he's so thirsty. He went to Ploy's right after leaving May's parents' house because he's in the same clothes. Like, you know that he left that house and was like, fuck you, and then literally went here.
Yes.
Yes, that's what he did.
And good for him.
Yeah. Be thirsty. That's fine. Everyone's thirsty in this part of the episode.
Ploy immediately asks where May is, and Ton proudly says that he came on his own this time. And like this time he truly means it because May has nothing to do with this visit for once. And Ploy's smile is so big and she welcomes him because finally he did something on his own to show her he cares. He didn't show up with like a random gift just to be like pretend like he had a reason to be there. No, he was like, May's not involved. I haven't even talked to her in the past hour.
I don't know where I took her. She might be dead. I don't know.
Like I have no idea what's going on right now. All I know is I wanted to see you.
I came to take her away in her murder van. Who knows what's happening? Yeah, no, I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised though he didn't. I think he was so singularly focused on the fact that I'm free of May's dad. I'm gonna go get what I want, which is Ploy. I think that's why he shows up empty-handed. I think too, because like normally he comes by, he brings flowers. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised he didn't stop to get her a gift, but I think that
just so excited.
I think that just shows how happy how like he's wanted to do this the whole time, but like May's father has been holding the badly paid for medical school over his head for so long. Mm-hmm. And so, but now he's free. He's free. He's like, I'm free. This is the first thing that he does after he gets his freedom back, which says a lot.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
And this is where part 2 ends.
And where we're wrapping up our episode, and we'll be back next time to wrap up the rest of episode 9, which is the super gay stuff. But before we fully wrap this up, we have to do our Taylor Swift song. So what Taylor Swift songs do you have for this episode?
So the song that I picked was Bejeweled. And it's because of the lyrics. Like, I think I've been too good of a girl, did all the extra credit, then got graded on a curve. I think it's time to teach some lessons. I made you my world. Have you heard? I can reclaim the land. And I miss you, but I miss sparkling. So this is May's song.
Yes.
So she's done everything, even more, to get her father to be happy with what she was doing, but it was never going to be good enough for him. And now it's time for her to teach him a lesson. And
why does she?
Like, he used to be her world because
she was trapped in his world.
Yeah. You made it. The lyric should be you made my world, something like that.
I was living in your world.
Yes. And now like she's reclaiming her land, which is herself, her own autonomy. And like, yeah, she wishes like she could have her father, but she knows she needs to shine.
Yeah.
And then also the lyrics, when I walk in the room, I can still make the whole place shimmer.
Yes.
Because boy, does she light up every room. She owns it.
She does.
And then like, don't put me in the basement when I want the penthouse. I mean, the next lyrics are of your heart, but that doesn't really matter. Like, diamonds in my eyes, I polish up real nice. Because, girl, do you ever?
Yeah. No, it's a really good one. I have 2. One song's for May, one song's for I, because they were in different places in this episode. So I is Love Story, because the whole episode she was just like, I'm going to take her in a camping van and like this is going to be a start of our story. It's my May. She's my first love. That's I's headspace. And then May was vigilante shit going after her dad. They're not on the same page. Like they're in different places. Like they come together at the end, but like that was May. May was like, I'm going to take this powerful man down, which is basically vigilante shit, and like he's not gonna see it coming, and then I's just like, it's a love story. Like they're just not on the same page.
Baby, just say yes.
Yes, that's them. All right. Love story also works for Ton at the end. So like it's kind of where everybody is. Okay. Big Gay Energy Award. I setting up the campsite.
Oh my god, no, that really was.
Well, it was off screen, but the campsite that I clearly set up because she's the only one that could quote see. It had to be I. That
Yeah.
campsite. That was the gayest thing. And like the whole thing. That campsite, and then like the whole thing of when they get out of the van and I's just like, I'm gonna make it up to you for being so foolish last time, and like we're gonna stargaze, and I'm gonna set up this whole thing for you and take you to the cute will. That whole thing, just I woman again. God damn it.
That's a really, really good one.
Yes,
I'm gonna have to give it to Pang.
of course you are.
Yes.
I was like honorable mention to Pang, but like I get my.
No, yeah, I mean, like overall, it is I in doing all that. I think just Pang deserves credit.
Of course she does.
Shooting her a shot because
Out big gay energying Jan.
Yeah.
Because Jan has a lot of big gay energy.
And also that scene was just the best.
It's a very good scene.
Okay, so now we've come to the time where I'm going to give you a challenge. We want to see if you made it this far in the episode. So show us that you're still here. So today's challenge is we want you to let us know in the comments if you, so like I and May are on their date right now, and it's really cute. But if you could design a date for I and May, what would it be?
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Or like, what kind of date would you like to see them go on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leave it in the comments. And if you want to add what happens too, feel free.
Fan fiction as much as you want in the comments. That sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thank you for making it this far. We'll be back next time to get to the most big gay energy of the whole show, which is part 2, the second half of this episode. So join us next time. And until then, hydrate for lesbian Jesus.
And gay it up all over the place.
Bye.
Bye.
And with that, we've been Big Gay Energy. If you like this episode, check out all our other episodes right here on YouTube.
Please like, leave a comment below, and subscribe for more amazing super gay content.